The Kingsman franchise is dead, and one successful homage to spy films might be cancelled for good. Recently I have rewatched all 3 films in the series, and now I'm gonna explain what led the franchise to disaster and the reasons behind shelving all upcoming Kingsman projects, some of which were weird, and there is one of them that is completely insane.
Now do your very best impersonation of a German aristocrat's formal greeting. No, Eggsy.
If Kingsman was a bland and forgettable ripoff of a few spy movie series of the world, I wouldn't have even bothered talking about it. But Kingsman is special. Where James Bond delivers a classic experience within the genre and Mission Impossible goes absolutely bonkers with its insane stunts, Kingsman kinda borrows some necessary elements, adds a narrating to spice things up, and transforms into an extremely fun and entertaining take on spy narrative that usually takes itself too seriously. The series offers incredible action sequences, amazing and memorable characters, and even some seriousness too, but it hardly ever happens. In the result, there is an undeniable banger, an accurate sequel with slight changes in tone, and a prequel. 3 whole movies. So what exactly went wrong here? Scattered focus. This is a perfect description of why Kingsman is done. Instead of focusing on releasing the 3rd movie right after the sequel, it was decided to opt for anything except that. Somehow, the 3rd film of the franchise is a prequel, not a direct continuation of Harry's and Eggsy's story. This doesn't make any sense, because the ending of the sequel hinted at the 3rd part even more than the 1st part hinted at the 2nd one. But who am I to judge, right? These guys in suits clearly know better than I do. They thought it was the right time to make a story about some other characters during a totally different time period. Initially, the film was supposed to come out in November 2019, but was delayed 8 times due to production issues and the COVID pandemic. It finally came out on December 22nd, 2021, and immediately 3 Spider-Man beat the living shit out of it, just like they did with everyone during their theatrical run. In the result, the prequel was a box office bomb, but the chain of poor creative choices wasn't over yet. Nah, it was time to follow the trends. Matthew Vaughn, the director of all 3 films, was developing a whole cinematic universe for several franchises to share. This is the reason why the world got to see Argyle, or as I simply call it, The Abomination. The plot is pure garbage, the characters are hopelessly boring and like a thing that's called brain. 80% of the film is an extremely obvious use of CGI, meaning that almost everything looks fake. This is literally a cheap Kingsman knockoff that sometimes straight up steals some scenes from there. It feels like it is a vision of some amateur copycat director, but no, Vaughn directed this one as well. This was a disaster that's even worse than The Kingsman was. Argyle doesn't have a confirmed budget, but it is official that it was bought by Apple for $200 million, so let's consider this as its cost. The film made only $96 million during all of its theatrical run. It had to make approximately $450 to $500-ish million to break even, just FYI. You can count how much of a financial loss it was. So what do we have since 2017? We have a prequel that came out way before being even remotely needed, which severely underperformed. What's crazy here is that even this film already had plans for a 2nd part. A sequel to a prequel. Holy fuck! Then there's a movie from a different franchise, but it is connected to the spy cinematic universe, because everything needs a cinematic universe nowadays. Even my cup for drinking tea also needs its own cinematic universe. I'm certain of it. Drop a like if you need one for you as well. Also, let's add early development of a standalone Statesman movie that quickly turned into a TV series and then turned into a cancelled project. And in conclusion, let's not forget about plans to merge Kingsman and Hit Girl in one freaking film. Yeah, you heard me right. Kingsman and Kick-Ass could have been in one universe. This isn't a joke. Take your time, look it up yourself. I didn't believe it as well, but it's real and it is totally crazy. And that leaves me and many other people who like the first 2 movies with one question. Where is the 3rd part that has been in development since 2018? Where is it? I think the answer is pretty clear at this point. The 3rd Kingsman installment is cancelled. It should have been in full production mode right after the Golden Circle, so it probably could have been finished before 20th Century Fox was bought by Disney in 2019. This would have saved it from being cancelled because it is a completed movie, and Disney would have probably released it in December 2021 as well. We would have watched it being completely destroyed by Spider-Man No Way Home. which is a negative outcome as well. However, this way we could have a completed trilogy after all. Who would have cared about the financial performance? I guess we live in a universe where the people behind Kingsman had different priorities at the time, and now there are no resources to make it right. I know that Taron Egerton stated multiple times that he would love to make the third film happen, but this is not enough. Disney owns the rights now, Mickey Mouse calls the shots, and right now he's in total stress because he's about to release Captain America 4 and the Snow White remake into the world, and prepare for losing the remains of his reputation and yet another hundreds of millions of dollars. Not a perfect time to think about going forward with a sunken franchise. However, if you think about it, now is a great time for Kingsman because there are literally no competitors on the market. There is no new James Bond yet, and the last Mission Impossible installment is going to be released this May. This is exactly when all of your prequels, spin-offs, and TV series would have come in handy. But it is what it is. And what do you think about Kingsman? Share all of it in the comments for us to discuss. If you enjoyed this video, now is a great time to drop it a like. We've got Captain America Brave New World coming out in just a few days, so definitely subscribe to the channel in order to see my review on it. This is going to be extremely interesting to see what they have in store for us. And if you're wondering what to watch in the theaters this year, then check out my video about the biggest movies of 2025. The link is in the description. And that was it for now. Until next time, see ya.